There's lots of video game influences in Attack the Block. You know, the creatures, the monsters in the film, were kind of inspired by a SNES game called Another World, which was one of the first ever games to use motion capture. And it had some terrific creatures that were made out of kind of silhouettes. So they were always something I remembered, and one of the things that informed the creatures. The whole idea of having a unified space, just one environment where the film takes place, I think is quite video game inspired. You know, I love, there's a level on Perfect Dark that I used to love, all in a tower block. You know, a lot of GoldenEye on the N64 when you had one location, and you know, it's something that first-person shooters can do well, and that some movies do well, where you have one environment and you kind of turn it into a playground, and you kind of reinvent all these quite banal spaces as an action-adventure environment. So that's what we were trying to do. And of course, then all the characters in Attack the Block are very video game savvy, so there's references to Call of Duty, and you know, there's all sorts of little video game references in there, definitely. Well, I just spent a day loading Resistance 3 because because I'd been making the film, I haven't had a chance to play a game properly for a couple of years even. So Resistance 3 was the first one that went in, and I played the first level and I really dug it. But I'm bad at boss battles generally. I have a next door neighbour who is, you know, quite a bit younger than me, and I call him in to deal with boss battles. The one that really sticks with me, it's not an alien, but I think it's a kind of dragon at the end of one of the Zeldas, that I remember just circling this thing infinitely for days and days and days, trying to shoot its arse or something. I can't remember, but whatever I was trying to shoot was impossible to get at. You know that thing when you just cannot beat a level and the music gets tattooed into your brain, and oh, I'm getting quite angry just thinking about it. I think one of the interesting things is how camera work has changed in films, because obviously when you play a game you've got a lot of control over the camera now, and one of the fun things in games is almost like positioning your camera in a way that makes the action satisfying for you to watch. So I don't know, when you look at movies like Fast 5 or some of the more heightened action movies, they're doing stuff with cameras and physics that is trying to beat what you can do in games. Yeah, I think there's lots of connections, really.